Welcome to Tuesday's Tips from So Very Easy. My name is Laura. And do you use a pressing ham in your sewing room? A tailor's ham or a pressing ham is a pressing aid, and it gets its name from the shape because it is the same shape as a ham. Now there are two sides to a ham. You have 100% cotton on one side and you have a wool or a polyester cotton on the other side. Now this is not made for decorations. You use them both differently. The cotton side you're going to use to press cotton with or linen, anything that takes very high temperatures. And the other side is used for fabrics that need to be pressed at a lower temperature, like wools and polyesters. Now that's not saying you can't press on any side. And a lot of times we will press right on the center. It is filled very, very firmly with sawdust, and that helps the moisture get absorbed, so it gives you a nice press mark. So what do you need to press with this? Well, there's many different ways you can use this. It's really great for construction. As you're sewing the item, it's nice to use a ham, but you can use it even after the items are constructed. So they are used for the same thing, just at different times. It's really great for a sleeve cap because you can't get an ironing board right inside of that sleeve in that top area because you can't get it flat. If you have it flat, you end up pressing these little folds in. You will take that ham and put it right inside until the garment is flat around that ham. Now that does not mean the garment is flat. It's flat around the ham. And by doing that, you're going to be able to get a nice press mark, and you're not going to have any folds in as if this was a flat surface. And you're going to be able to move that in and steam that and press it. Then you're going to be able to move it up into the shoulders and press it again nice and flat in that shape of your shoulder. When you have seams that are on a curve, the ham is another great thing because, again, that does not lie flat because you've sewn it into a shape to conform your body. So the ham will go in there and get pressed. Now, the first time you're going to want to press it on the wrong side, but if you're pressing after you have made the garment, you'll be able to press it on the right side. So the back of pants is another great example of this. We often have darts in the back of the pants, well, so that it fits our end exactly the way it's supposed to be. Because we're not flat, we are shaped. And to press those, you're going to be able to put the ham in. Again, that can't press flat because of the shape. So you'll put that in and give it a press. And now it's going to have a nice shape to it. Darts is another great time to use a pressing ham. A dart is sewn on an angle. So again, it's not flat. So you're going to be able to put the ham underneath and press it to the side that you need, and it's going to take that curve shape that we need for the waist. And the darts for the bust line is another time to use this. And even though the ham is designed to be pressed on both sides, you can press along this edge here. The reason is this is now a smaller curve than the curves on the front and back. So sometimes this is going to be the edge to be used. When you do this edge, the only thing you need to really pay attention to is that seam, that it doesn't leave a press mark on your clothing. So you'll have to press lightly when you're pressing along that edge. And sometimes there is a dart or a pleat or a gather that has lots of fabric in one area. There would be no way you'd be able to press that flat. You won't be able to get the iron in all of those little areas. So you will end up doing press marks here. But we don't necessarily want the press marks because we want it to look natural. And that's where the ham's going to come in. If it's really small, you might want to use the top. So I'm going to be able to take that pleat or that gather, and I'm going to be able to pull it right along the top of that ham. Now by putting it over that ham, I'm going to be able to just press that area, and I'm not going to have big press marks where they're not going to want to be. Then I'm going to be able to take the ham off and press the rest of the shirt flat. Collars are not flat because they go around our neck. And even though often you're going to be able to press it right on a flat surface, a ham is going to help it retain a memory to go around your neck. So you're going to be able to put the collar right on the ham. And the seam actually comes up, sort of like a smile. And now you're going to be able to press that into that curved shape. And you'll be able to make sure all of your seams are going in the right direction. When you want something to maintain a memory, you're going to be able to press it and steam it. And then you need to let it cool. And the memory happens once it is cooling. That heavy, hot steam will take that fabric and it's going to help that memory. And then it's going to stay in that shape better. Even the collars that come in the front, this area is not flat. It does have a curve to it. That ham is going to follow that curve. And a pressing ham can be a helping hand. Because it's so firmly stuffed, it can be the third hand that you need in your sewing room. Sometimes we just need someone to hold something as we stretch it, or we want to tie something. For example, to make a braid for some decoration, I'm going to be able to put a pin in one end, put it in the ham, and it's going to hold it enough so that I'm going to be able to use it to tie and braid what I need to braid. If I'm going to press and I need it pulled, I can also put a pin here. When it's smoothed out, I'll be able to just pull it with one hand, and I have the other hand free to work the iron. So the ham is good not only for pressing, but for pinning. From jackets to pants, dresses to shirts, a pressing ham is a handy thing to have in the sewing room. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.